Do we need a shot of us gazing off dramatically into the distance?
Yes, both
What
of you.
distance are we looking
Different
at?
distances. All right, bring it in.
Hey, Whitney.
Hey, Andy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Right Now.
Thank you so much.
I am not a host. Whitney is not a host. But we're going to give this a go. And today we have Drew behind the camera. So say, yeah, hey, Drew.
There he is.
Hey.
So we're switching it up a little today because we want to talk about doodling and bullet journaling because I would say Whitney is kind of like the resident doodler here at Goulet. Would you agree?
That is my official shop description.
It's on her email. What is it called? Footer? What's the...
Yes.
Yeah, so...
Product
anyway.
photographer, resident doodler. That is me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you brought a lot of notebooks and
I did, because
cards.
Drew yelled at me about talking about my bullet journal.
Wow.
So, I was cornered.
What is, so I guess we can talk about bullet journaling first. What is, like, your thing for bullet journaling?
Well, it all started with this one, which is this one's really fat.
It's really big.
Because I put stuff in it. So, I don't know when I got into bullet journaling. I think I heard about it and I was like, oh my god, something that can help me be organized, because I'm not. And there was like a system, and I do really well with like a skeletal structure that I can like base something else off of. So if I
Okay.
have like a little bit of a structure or like a guide or deadlines or something, that works for me, and then within that I can kind of like do whatever I want.
Gotcha.
So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna switch up the dots, and instead of these arrows, I'm gonna do different things. So I pretty much customized it. I'm a genius. No, but this one started off, so this one actually I started during a really not so great time. So there's a lot of like weird, lengthy, like, hold on, where is
Give
it?
him a little show.
I know, I'm trying to find a page.
Whoa. Overall explanation of bullet
Yeah.
journaling too.
So
Now show them a page.
yeah, all right. Well, this is not a good page to show because this is just doodles. That's wrong. Basically, it's supposed to be an organizational system that helps you.
That's good.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, a lot of times there's like an overview page. So there's like this guy. So it's like, oh, this is the whole month. So I used to do this. I would have like a setup where I had the entire month laid out like this, so I could have events, and then these little, yeah, boop, that's me. And then I would have like a little page that was like, okay, general to-dos for the month. And this ended up changing and evolving. I started off basically with what it like said that we like said to do. And then I went back later and was like, well, this kind of doesn't work for me, or like I need to make this more efficient. And so
Yeah.
I used to have a run log, so I would keep a page that just kept like track of all my running and all the times. And I was running a lot, and that was cool. Not doing that. So then I did things like I went to Europe, so I made a checklist for that. So I have a little for
What are
that.
those symbols on the right main? Are those like just fill in dots like to-dos?
Yeah, so
boxes?
these little, so this was a checklist, but these, the way that there's nothing like horrible on there. I think it's fine. So a lot of times you start off with a dot, and so that's just a regular list item, and then by changing it to like a caret or a certain type of line that's like a symbol to be like, okay, this needs to be moved to another day, or this is complete. So X's were complete things, and these little carets are like, oh, I didn't finish this, so I need to make sure I add it. So the idea is like discipline. So if you didn't finish it for this day, you add it to the next day. So you just have to keep writing it down until you finish it, which is kind of like
This is reminding me I need to put flea medication on my dog.
very useful. And so, yeah, these, I mean, and then I'd go do little crazy things where I was like drawing. This was me being stuck on an airplane, so
Nice.
I had to do something.
And I think you made a good point earlier when we were like deciding what we were going to talk about, is that bullet journaling is really like up to you. It's really
Yes.
personalized. There's no like right way to do it. Didn't we do like a blog post on
We've
bullet
done
journaling or
some
something
stuff
like that?
about bullet journaling. I think people think it's a really daunting thing. Like they're really like, oh, I have to do it this certain way.
And you
that's
don't.
no, that's not. You
Yeah.
can like, if it helps to do it a certain way, that's great. But if you want to like, you're like, well, this isn't useful for me. You don't have to put it in there. Or you can do whatever you want to make it fit your lifestyle or however you do things. So, so like, and you can see how mine evolved. Like this one started off as like, let me talk about all my life problems or like these horrible dreams I was having. Or so I was like, but it was useful for me because I've never written out things like, oh, I'm sad and let me write about it. But it was useful for me at the time. And then I was also running a lot more, so I was like logging that. But then when you look at, also I went on a lot of trips, so I like would draw. So these are things I was like drawing on the airplanes, and then I would like put all of my little like things that I got and tape them in there. So that's why this is a big fat guy. And then as I went to like the next year, I needed less of like a diary, and I was just more like, okay, this one's gonna be,
like a daily planner.
And so this one's a little bit cleaner, so I think it's easier to look at. So I would have my overview here, and then I would have like a calendar version. I think that's the right direction. Yes, calendar version.
Woo!
And little doodles that I shoved into the notebook. And so what I did here was I made each page its own day, where in the first one I had little like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, will do. I had a whole time log because, so I had from
Look at you in your military time.
to 23 p.m.
Nap.
a.m. 23 a.m. No, I don't know. Yeah.
No. That's I know this. That's 11. No, that's
You're
10.
trying. You can do it.
10:30.
So
I have military time on my phone. I'm trying to learn.
so I would like block out the things. I used to have like 3 jobs, so it helped me to do this. Now I have the one, it's a lot more helpful. So I would do basically the same thing every day, and that helped me. It helps me to have like a consistent thing. So then once this became more of the structure that I liked, I was like, well, I can just do, so now I have the actual
Loistrom planner.
Yes, now I have the planner.
Yeah.
So it's got,
I got that too.
Woo!
We twins.
Look at us.
These are great because like
I like them a lot.
They're awesome. Oh, here's my only doodle. This creepy little duck.
I think it's cute.
Do you remember what was that? DuckTales.
Yeah, it looks like DuckTales.
DuckTales is the vibe I was going for. But I love these because they have like I'm not this disciplined to do a bullet journal, but like this is great. So I have like my like everyday to-dos and stuff like that, and or if I have like meetings and then like notes that I need to take during the week, I'll do on this side, which is great. Or ducks. Ducks are great, like my dogs.
Yeah, mine. Yes, we like ducks here. But I agree, because like again, mine started off as like I needed something that had more, like I needed to be able to write more or draw more, and then it was like, well, I need this to kind of just function as my like daily whatchamacallit. So now it's like it's already there. I don't have to spend as much time writing it out myself, even though that is fun for customizing. But
that's cool. I want to do that. I'm about to go on a trip to Japan, and like now I want to get one of those notebooks so I could like do things like that, because that's fun. It's different when you're writing stuff down or drawing and to like remember your experiences. So
yeah,
that's
I'm
cool.
also like I keep everything like from trips, like receipts and tickets, and I also like stickers, but I've never been able to like I can't decide where to put them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can put them in my journals now. So I have like little, inside all my things, I have little stickers because that's where I put. So if I get stickers, I just shove them.
Pipe it up, pickle.
Yeah, they make pickles. They're
Nice.
from Richmond. They're so cute.
Okay, so speaking of doodles. I like my transition.
That segue was smooth.
Whitney, like we talked about the last time that she was on right now. She is
This
like
is my own.
She is
This is
like
what I do.
like if you get her note cards, they're hysterical. Yesterday she came into my office and she was like, "Look, I made this one. This is a bird. He's happy you chose Goulet. So are we."
Where's the orange?
This one's my
the orange.
oh.
The orange is my favorite.
The orange. The orange says, "The cool thing about using orange ink is that you can draw fruit really easily." Thanks for choosing Goulet.
So this helps get some of the doodling out of my system. But I doodle all the time. It helps me.
All the time.
Always. Like all
every meeting we're in, she's doodling off on the side, which is totally fine. And I want to bring this up because I didn't know this until today.
Until this morning.
But Whitney was doodling one day in a meeting, and then Lydia came back from a trip and just so happened to look at it on the side and was like, oh my God, I love that. So
That's probably exactly
what happened?
what it sounded like.
Lydia got a tattoo of Whitney's doodle.
So if you see it on her arm, that was a doodle I drew in a meeting.
Little paper airplane
Whitney-
with a boost.
Whitney original.
Oh, Whitney.
Awesome.
OG Whitney, yes. So, but doodles will help me. I'll draw and I can like remember what we were talking about when I drew a certain picture.
Actually, I have a crazy story really quick, is that I was taking this like public speaking class, and there was this guy that was just doodling the entire class, like really intensely, and I'm just sitting there like, how the heck is this kid like retaining any information? He's just like da 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 da. It turned out he had this like mental illness that like the only way that he could concentrate was to doodle, and he drew these amazing drawings. Like if he didn't doodle, he would just be all over the place, like he couldn't focus. It was crazy.
You find it helps you focus on?
Yeah, I am a very like antsy person, and I'm a very like I have to be doing something. Like when I was in school, I used to either be drawing or doing crossword puzzles, which is maybe less paying attention, and then I would make jewelry, so I had to be like doing something with
very,
my
like,
hands. I'm
yeah.
very, very tactile, so I have to be like doing an activity, and I also just like I don't
Always
know. So,
moving.
yeah, so but the drawing helps me, and I think I've talked about it before, where it's like the hand brain like connection of like if I'm doing something with my hands, I can kind of like remember what we're talking about like while I'm doing it. It helps
Yeah.
like attach the memory to something.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh yeah, that was the page where I drew the thing. So I'll like
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today, because Drew keeps giving us thumbs and fingers and twirling things. So we're going to wrap it up, but we hope that you enjoyed this. This is your last right now for a while without Brian. But yeah, if you guys have any, like, I don't know, advice for if you're a doodler and you have advice, or like you have a favorite pen that you love to doodle with. We didn't even talk about pens, but we have no time. So there we go. These are pens.
Might have to do a part 2 one day.
Yeah, but if you have a favorite pen that you love to doodle with, or your favorite ink, or your favorite notebook that you love to doodle with, put it down below so that we can, start a conversation, all that. But yeah,
Look,
so
you basically hosted today.
I tried. Anyway,
Brian.
let's see if I can do this. What is the right on?
Nailed it.